Good morning. As you step outside today, you might notice a crispness in the air that wasn't there just a few days ago. The world feels quieter, the streets are dusted with a fresh layer of snow, and there's a certain anticipation that only winter can bring. It's the kind of morning that makes you reach for your warmest scarf and take a deep breath, feeling the cold tingle in your lungs. Winter is arriving early this year, and both the Midwest and Northeast are about to experience a dramatic shift in weather. The familiar autumn chill is quickly giving way to something much more intense, as temperatures drop and the landscape transforms almost overnight. For millions across these regions, the change will be impossible to ignore. A powerful mass of cold air is sweeping down from Canada, bringing with it the first true taste of winter. This isn't just a fleeting cold snap, it's the arrival of Arctic air that will linger, setting the stage for the season's first real snow. The jet stream is dipping south, opening the door for frigid temperatures to spill into the heart of the country. Over the next 10 days, we're not just looking at a single snowstorm. Instead, a series of storms is lined up, each one ready to leave its mark. These back-to-back systems will keep the weather pattern active and unpredictable, making it feel like winter has truly arrived in full force. Imagine a conveyor belt of winter weather with at least 2, possibly even 3, significant snow events on the horizon. Each storm will bring its own challenges, from heavy snowfall to gusty winds and rapidly changing road conditions. For those who rely on travel or have outdoor plans, it's time to pay close attention to the forecast. The storm track is especially active right now, with systems aimed directly at the heart of the country. Meteorologists are watching closely as these storms develop and move along a path that stretches from the Central Plains all the way to the Northeast. This means widespread impacts are likely, with snow, ice, and cold affecting millions. For many people, this will be the first major snowfall of the season, a true test of winter readiness. It's time to dig out those heavy coats, find your snow boots, and make sure your shovels are within easy reach. Kids may be excited for the first snow day, while adults prepare for the extra work that comes with clearing driveways and sidewalks. From the wide-open farms of Iowa to the charming small towns of New England, everyone should get ready for colder air and snowy skies. The snow will blanket main streets, cover rooftops, and transform familiar neighborhoods into winter wonderlands. Whether you love the beauty of fresh snow or dread the hassle it brings, there's no denying that winter is making a grand entrance. While there's no need for alarm, it's definitely time to prepare. Make sure your emergency kits are stocked, your vehicles are winter ready, and your homes are set up to stay warm and safe. A little preparation now can make a big difference when the snow starts to fall and the temperatures drop even further. In the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly what's coming, when you can expect the biggest impacts, and how you can get ready for winter's opening act. Stay tuned as we guide you through the details of this early season blast, so you and your family can stay safe, warm, and prepared for whatever winter has in store. Our first storm arrives this weekend, building in the northwest and heading straight for the Midwest. 2 pieces of atmospheric energy will combine, pulling cold air south and turning rain into snow. Saturday is the day to watch. Snow spreads from Iowa and Minnesota into Wisconsin and northern Illinois. By Saturday night, expect the heaviest snow and the most travel disruptions. Gusty winds will follow, causing blowing and drifting snow into Sunday. Even after the snow stops, slick roads and cold air will linger into next week. This storm is a true winter wake-up call for millions. Get ready for a classic Midwestern snow event. Who gets the most snow? The heaviest band will stretch from Iowa through southern Minnesota into Wisconsin. 6 inches or more is likely in cities like Des Moines, Rochester, Madison, and Green Bay. Chicago sits on the edge. Expect 3 to 4 inches, maybe a bit more if the storm shifts. Detroit will see some snow, but the heaviest will stay north. The storm's exact track matters. A shift of 50 miles changes everything. Saturday is the main event. Travel will be tough across the region. Even moderate snow will cause headaches in big cities. Stay tuned, and consider changing your plans if you're in the path. As we dig out from the weekend, another storm looms for Tuesday and Wednesday. This system could be significant, but there's still uncertainty. If 2 key energy streams link up, the storm could rapidly intensify, pulling in Atlantic moisture and cold air. The focus shifts east, interior northeast, not the big coastal cities. Upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine could see their first big snow of the season. The setup is high potential, high uncertainty. The next few days will clarify the forecast. Watch for updates as new data comes in. This could be a memorable storm for the Northeast's interior. Forecasting the midweek storm is proving to be a real challenge for meteorologists, and it all comes down to a disagreement between our most trusted weather models. These models, which use complex algorithms and vast amounts of data, are painting two very different pictures of what could unfold across the Northeast. This kind of split isn't unusual, but it does make it much harder to give a confident forecast, especially when the stakes are high and millions of people could be affected. The European model, often considered the gold standard in global forecasting, is suggesting that the storm will be relatively weak and quick-moving. According to its latest runs, the system will bring just a few inches of snow to the interior Northeast, with most major cities seeing only light accumulations. This scenario would mean less disruption, fewer school closures, less travel chaos, and a much easier cleanup for everyone involved. On the other hand, the UK Met Office model is telling a very different story. It's forecasting a much stronger, slower-moving storm system that could dump over a foot of snow in some areas. This model paints a picture of heavy, persistent snowfall, hazardous travel conditions, and the potential for widespread power outages. If this scenario plays out, communities could be facing a significant winter event, with major impacts on daily life and infrastructure. The reality, as is often the case, may end up somewhere between these two extremes, but the fact that the UK Met model is signaling such a strong storm means we can't afford to ignore the threat. Meteorologists are watching the situation closely, and emergency managers are already considering preparations just in case the worst-case scenario comes to pass. It's a reminder of how quickly things can change with winter weather, and why it's so important to stay informed. Over the next day or so, meteorologists will be poring over new data as it comes in, from satellite imagery, weather balloons, and surface observations. As this fresh information is fed into the models, we expect to see the forecasts start to converge, giving us a clearer idea of what to expect. This process is a race against time, as forecasters work to provide the most accurate guidance possible before the storm arrives. In the meantime, anyone living in the Northeast should be ready for the possibility of a major winter storm. That means checking your supplies, making sure you have enough food and essentials, and thinking ahead about travel plans. Even if the storm ends up being less severe, it's always better to be prepared than caught off guard. Local officials are urging residents to take the forecast seriously and to use this time to get ready. Flexibility will be key over the next few days. Keep an eye on the latest updates from trusted sources, and be ready to adjust your plans as the forecast evolves. Whether it's rescheduling a trip, working from home, or simply staying off the roads during the worst of the weather, small changes can make a big difference in staying safe. The next 48 hours are absolutely critical for nailing down the details of this storm. As new data comes in and the models update, we'll get a much better sense of the timing, intensity, and exact track of the system. Until then, uncertainty remains high, but preparation and vigilance are your best tools. Winter weather can be unpredictable, and this week could deliver a real punch to the Northeast. Stay tuned, stay safe, and be ready for whatever this storm may bring. And there's more. Long-range forecasts hint at a third storm about 10 days out. This one targets the Rockies and Northern Plains following a classic Clipper path from Canada. Expect a quick burst of snow, colder temperatures, and gusty winds. While not a blockbuster, these storms can create blizzard conditions and major travel issues. The jet stream remains locked in a wintry pattern, so the storm conveyor belt isn't stopping soon. Residents from Montana to Minnesota, stay alert as December begins. Winter is settling in for the long haul. The other half of the story this week is the relentless cold. Temperatures are dropping fast, and it's not just a brief dip. Across the east, people are waking up to a deep chill, with thermometers showing numbers far below what's typical for this time of year. You'll notice folks bundled up in heavy coats, scarves, and gloves, their breath visible in the frosty air. Even during the day, the sun struggles to make a difference, and the cold just hangs on. The freezing line is pushing steadily southward, stretching across the northern U.S., and acting as a clear boundary between rain and snow. For the Midwest and Northeast, this means that any precipitation will fall as snow, not rain, leading to slick roads and challenging travel conditions. Cities from Chicago to Cleveland and all the way to Boston are bracing for a wintry mix that will make commutes and daily routines more difficult. As the weekend storm system moves through, It opens the door for even colder air to pour in behind it. By Monday and Tuesday, this frigid air mass will have reached the east coast, bringing a sharp drop in temperatures. Winds will pick up, making it feel even colder than the numbers suggest, and wind chills could dip into the single digits or even below zero in some spots. Major cities like New York, Philadelphia, and Boston are in for a true taste of winter. Daytime highs may struggle to get above freezing, and overnight lows will plunge well below that mark. Landmarks and city streets will be blanketed in snow, and digital displays will serve as a constant reminder of just how cold it is outside. For those living inland, away from the moderating influence of the coast, the cold will be even more intense. Small towns and rural areas across the Midwest and Northeast will see deep snow cover and temperatures that make it feel like the heart of winter. The next storm system will bring only snow, no chance of a wintry mix or rain here. This Arctic air mass is stubborn and slow to move. Forecasts show no significant warm-up for at least the next 10 days, meaning rivers and lakes will remain frozen solid, and any snow that falls will stick around. The persistent cold will keep the landscape locked in a deep freeze. Each new storm system that passes through brings another blast of cold air, reinforcing the icy grip on the region. Between storms, the snow doesn't have a chance to melt, and icy patches will linger on roads and sidewalks, making travel hazardous. It's important to bundle up and take extra care, especially in the mornings when icy patches are most treacherous. Scraping windshields and navigating slick sidewalks will become part of the daily routine for many, so give yourself extra time and stay alert. The big chill has settled in across the east, transforming cities and countryside alike into a winter wonderland. With no sign of a thaw on the horizon, it's clear that this cold snap is here to stay for the foreseeable future. These storms will cause major travel headaches, especially for drivers and flyers. Saturday's Midwest storm will make highways like I-80, I-90, and I-94 hazardous. Expect delays and cancellations at airports in Chicago, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis. If you can, avoid travel on Saturday. If not, prepare your car and check conditions. The second storm shifts the trouble east. Tuesday and Wednesday could bring whiteouts to the interior Northeast. Highways and airports from Albany to Buffalo may be shut down or severely delayed. Have a backup plan if you must travel midweek. By Monday, forecasts will be clearer. Watch for updates and advisories. Be ready to adjust your plans as the storms approach. With winter's early arrival, preparation is key. Check your heating, seal drafts, and know where your water shutoff is. Find your snow shovels and stock up on ice melt. Ready your car, check tires, battery, and keep a winter kit with blankets, snacks, and a shovel. Stay informed. Weather can change fast, so monitor trusted sources and set up alerts. If you have travel plans, check road and flight conditions often. Information is your best tool. Plan ahead and stay flexible. Look out for neighbors, especially those who may need help. Community makes winter storms easier to handle. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll get through this wintry blast together.